All right, welcome back to Energy Work for Everybody. That includes atheists, skeptics, and people that are not even sure whether or not what's going on. So this is approaching the anomaly known as energy work, the bizarre sensations that you can cause to happen in your body. From a scientific perspective, it is likely, from my perspective, I believe that it is a neurophysiological anomaly that is happening. So whether or not you are a spiritual person, personally I'm agnostic, but either way, this is energy work that everybody can use, including atheists and agnostics and skeptics, because I'm not loading it up with a bunch of personal beliefs and spiritual concepts and stuff. This is literally agnostic energy work for everybody. Okay, so let's get moving. In this video, we are going to be talking about, or I'm going to tell you how to do the smooth energy pulse rate increase trick. This is something that you can use to get to the highest possible pulse rate that you can get to by being able to consciously articulate each pulse. We're going to talk more about energy pulsing and high frequency energy practices in the next video, but to just quickly sum it up, there is a point where that continual pulsing stops being individual beats, okay, individual pulses that you are aware of, and starts becoming a frequency, right, like that. So obviously something like that, we're not aware of the individual waveforms, like the individual troughs and peaks and troughs in that waveform. We're just not capable of discerning the individual points in that frequency. Okay, we're just not capable of discerning the individual beats. But with something like dun, 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 easily, we're vividly aware of each individual pulse, right? Well, in between dun, 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 and zzz, okay, there is an area where we can no longer consciously count those beats. We're incapable of counting those beats, or not even counting, just being aware of the individual beats. And at that point, it's kind of this fuzzy area, but at that point, it stops being a pulse, right? It stops being an energy pulse that we're practicing and begins to be an energy frequency that we are practicing. And so in the next video, I'm going to explain how to differentiate and how to produce each one. But in this video, I'm going to give you a practice that will allow you to get to your highest pulse rate possible that you are capable of. So we've been practicing doing slow body breaths, right? Body breaths that can take, span over multiple lung breaths. And we've been practicing on doing very fast body breaths, like wah, 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 right? That, multiple body breaths span just one lung breath. Okay, both sides of the spectrum. Now we're going to start with a moderately slow body breath. Okay, just okay. And we are going to immediately start to increase the frequency. Okay, so something like wah 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 wah, right? And so you're going to use this to try to reach your peak body pulsing. Typically, if you just try to set a pace in your mind and stick with that, like if I'm doing body breath like wah 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 wah, once you're kind of in the groove of a frequency, it's very difficult to change frequencies. I have a hard time doing it. You have to just kind of stop and reorient yourself, and then try to think of a different frequency and try to jump up to that one and start doing that one too. Okay, so without having to like try to like break frequencies and jump to a different frequency or a different pulse pattern, a way to find your maximum pulse rate is to just start with a shallow, normal, slow body breath, and just work your way up faster and faster and faster and faster. So it's a sliding scale. You're just going faster and faster with each pulse. You're just faster and faster and faster and faster. Okay, so you'll hit a point where you just can't go any faster. It just doesn't make sense to your mind anymore, and that is your breaking point. Okay, that is where you just you can probably get a little better at it with some practice, and obviously you're becoming better and better at it, so you're perceiving and producing the pulses better and better. But there's just a breaking point where you are just, as humans, we are incapable of perceiving and producing pulses at that rate. So at that point, we're going to have to start working on how to do high frequency energy body breaths, which is we'll talk about in the next video. But okay, so the practice for this video is to fairly quickly, don't try to stretch it out, right? Don't try to make it this big long exercise. You want it to be a fairly quick increase in pulsing, literally something like wah 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 wah, until you just cannot perceive or cannot produce the pulses anymore. So that will give you a good idea of where your limit is at. Okay, so the purpose of this is to have a sense of where your maximum pulse rate is at, because we're going to use that pulse rate, which is technically a frequency, right? And we're going to try to match it as closely as possible with the next frequency that we can be aware of, that is not an individual pulse. So we're gonna talk about that in the next video. But for now, just practice that that increase in body breath frequency, because in the next video we're going to hone in on actual energy frequencies to start producing with the body breath sensation. All right, so thank you very much for watching. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do that. Like the video if you found it interesting, and share it with anybody you think might be interested. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye. Yeah, I don't know how to end these. Ciao. All right. See ya.